Mary Stein is an assistant editor for Conduit Literary Magazine and teaches through the Minnesota Prison Writing Workshop. Her fiction can be found in or on Tin House Flash Fridays, Cake Train, the Brooklyn Rail, the Dr. T.J. Eckelberg Review, and Spartan Lit, among other journals. Her work has been nominated for New Stories from the Midwest, and she recently received a Minnesota Emerging Writers Grant from the Loft Literary Center and a Loft Mentor Series Award. She holds an MFA from Vermont College of Fine Arts. Please welcome Mary.
What the bios never tell you is that writers do their fair share of Donald ducking themselves. That's what I do most of the time. Thanks to St. Paul Almanac for letting me come and crash the party. And I've been working on a very long project lately that has given me some poet envy. So I just decided to read two really short stories tonight. And the first short piece is called Small Teeth Bite Hard. Desi was disturbed by the naming of the dog. It's pretentious, she said, and I'm only telling you this because you're my best friend. And I'm only asking you this because you're my best friend, said Tess. The dog gazed up at Desi, its nose wet and quivering. Desi didn't know dogs. To her, it looked like a gray fox with stubby legs. A bastard dog, she thought, but she didn't say as much. The dog squatted toward the kitchen tiles. Desi recoiled. It's not going to shit on the floor, is it? It looks like it's about to take a big shit. Tess lifted the dog and burrowed her face between its ears. She kissed its head. She's not going to shit on your precious rehab floors, she said. Tess lifted her right hand into the air in a mock oath. I swear. Desi smoothed her sweater against her hips. I'm just saying, you can't name a dog after one of the greatest thinkers of our time, especially a muddy dog like that. It's blasphemous. Tess rocked the dog like a baby, which also disturbed Desi. I'm going for dissonance, said Tess. See what I mean, said Desi. Pretentious. You can call it whatever you want while I'm gone. Tess tried handing the dog to Desi, but she stepped back and put her hands up in front of her body as though shielding herself. She thought about her remodeled kitchen, her refinished floors. I don't know, she said. I'm not really a dog person. You don't say, said Tess. The dog stared at Desi with one green eye and one gray. Desi cringed. It's okay, boo-boo, said Tess. Desi doesn't mean it. I do, said Desi. I do mean it. It's a pet. It deserves a pet name. I wouldn't ask you if I weren't desperate, Tess huffed. Look, I'll bring you a snow globe for my trip. Tess stared at Desi. The dog stared at Desi. 4 pleading eyes trained on her. Tess placed the dog on the floor again. It ran dizzying circles, then plopped down, and began to nip at her own haunch and tail. Desi thought about the dog's innocent pink mouth. She looked at its little white teeth, how they wanted to latch on to something, her upholstery, her skin. She thought about the polished wood grain of her wainscoting. She thought about the latticework of scars on her body where a dog had latched onto her before. She thought even small teeth bite hard. But she also thought about Tess, her beloved friend. I want a big effing snow globe, larger than my fist. I want the Eiffel Tower inside it. But I'm going to Santa Fe, said Tess. No matter, said Desi. It's hard to find, but you'll find one. That's what makes the thing precious. The second story I'm going to read is called Flyer. Because you are reasonable, the dead chicks, the ones the flyer warned against, are interred at the bottom of your wire trash bin, underneath broken yellow crayons, wads of apprehended bubble gum, and crumpled up pieces of paper, including the flyer. But more of the chicks survived than you thought, and dozens of them now scurry around the room, shitting everywhere. In the flyer, it recommended against telling the school children how many chicks were expected to arrive. It did not, however, prevent you from telling the children how the chicks arrived, via first-class parcel postage, delivered expeditiously. Why in a plane, the school children asked, their eyes large and wondering. Because they can't fly by themselves, you say. The school children blink and blink and blink, their eyes fluttering like dying fluorescent lights. Will chickens never fly? The school children ask. Only because we don't let them, you say. Are we going to teach them how to fly? The school children ask. We don't know how to fly, so we can't teach them how to fly, you say. What are you going to teach them then? The school children ask. On the crumpled up pieces of paper, you had written your resignation letter over and over and over, but it was never quite right. You've been filling the trash bin with resignation letters ever since you started teaching the school children. You're teaching them how small life is, you say. You're not worried about the school children discovering your plans to resign because they cannot read, and you cannot seem to resign. In demonstration, you pick up a squirrely chick, a soft brownish-yellow bird. You pet it between its wings. The chick is gentle, I am gentle, and you are all gentle, you say. The chick twitters and nips at your fingertip. After it shits in your palm, you let it hop from your hand, and it flits around your desk like a wound-up, wind-up toy. The chick squeals loud as it can, but it's still quiet. When it teeters to the edge of your desk, the school children hush and stare. Suddenly, it seems silly to have such a noble desk, with such a small chick paralyzed at the edge of it. What will the chick do, the school children ask. We can't know, you say. It doesn't even know. The chick peers down at the papers in the trash bin, and you know you must urge it one way or the other. The classroom becomes quiet, despite the constant twittering, and the school children stare forward in unthinking symmetry, unsure of what they'd like you or the chick to do. You alight your palm gently against the chick, pausing while you mentally draft a new form of resignation. Thank you.